Morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Let's give everybody a couple minutes to get moving and get on today. Thank you for joining. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining also. Another 20 seconds or so. Thank you for joining this morning. Morning to all of you that are here and those that will be watching in the future. And I'm going to get started. Hi, everyone, again, and thanks for being here today. My name is Todd Weisbrot, and I'm an executive function skills coach, certified ADHD coach, and co-founder of Skills for Life Coaching. Today's session is part of an ongoing Facebook Live series focused on executive function skills. And every week on Monday, I'm here to talk about a different executive function skill. Share some stories and hopefully shed light for parents or even grandparents of kids who struggle with their executive functioning. If you haven't had a chance, I encourage you to check out any previous sessions here on Facebook. And in addition to these live sessions, we offer workshops twice per week to unlock more of the weekly topic. If you're catching this live or on video, and again, thank you to those of you here and those who will be joining. I'm glad you're here, and today we're going to talk about self-organization. So if you're a parent, you've probably heard moments where you thought, had this thought, how did my child lose another paper? Why is this backpack such a disaster? Maybe your child forgets assignments or leaves projects to the last minute. We've all had that. Night before, they have a huge project due and they're working on it till 11 o'clock at night because they're procrastinating, or struggling to keep track of responsibilities even though you know they're capable. What's important to understand is that organization does not come naturally to every child. Self-organization is an executive function skill, which means it involves the brain's ability to manage materials, information, responsibilities, and routines. These skills develop over time. Yes, they do. And many children need direct support learning how to become organized. Thank you for the comment of agreeing. So today, I want to help parents better understand what self-organization actually means, what it can look like in everyday life, and a few simple ways we can support children in building stronger organization skills. At its core, self-organization is the ability for an individual to create systems that help manage their daily life. Since each person is unique, the system that works best for one individual may not work for another. In other words, there's no one size fits all for every person, and I cannot stress that enough. There's not one size fits all for one person. And sometimes it takes changing and modifying and looking at what barriers a child or an adult is facing to determine what system will work for them. For students, that can include such things as keeping track of their homework, organizing school or sport or club materials, remembering deadlines or dates of games, competitions, events, or even a job schedule, packing what they need for school, sports, and jobs, following routines independently. Yep, we all have seen this. And one thing I always remind parents is a child can be extremely intelligent and still struggle with organization. Organization is not a measure of intelligence. Often students simply have not developed a system that helps work for them. So let me give you a very common school-related example that, you could probably relate to. Imagine your child comes home from school and says, "I don't have any homework." Later that evening, you check their online gradebook and see missing assignments. You ask your child again, and suddenly papers are falling out of the backpack, worksheets are crumbled at the bottom, and you have assignments that are stuffed into random folders. Yep, I see people agreeing, definitely. This situation can be extremely frustrating for everyone, for the child and for yourself. But many times the issue is not a lack of caring. The student simply doesn't have an organization system in place despite having folders or binders. Without systems, students rely heavily on memory, and that can be really challenging because think of all the things that they have to remember. So one academic strategy that may help is creating a very simple system. I like to try to keep it as simple as possible. Rather than a folder for every class, try one folder labeled To Do, one folder labeled In Progress or Started, and one folder labeled Complete Work. Keeps it simple. Then you can pair this with a daily or every other day backpack check to kind of see where everything is and help encourage your child to organize those couple folders that we just talked about. Simple systems, they reduce stress and they help students know exactly where things belong. Now let's look at a life example that many of us can relate to. Think about how stressful mornings are when you're not organized and time is flying and you got to be at work on time. Maybe someone's running around looking for their keys or their wallet or trying to find their phone charger, or you're still trying to pack lunches or realizing that important paper was left at home. When there's no system, mornings can feel extremely chaotic and stressful. But when you put these routines in place, they can go much smoother. So one strategy that I always encourage families to do is creating consistent evening routines. Packing backpacks at night, laying out clothes for the day, charging devices overnight, very, very important. Putting important items near the door. These small habits reduce stress, right, and help our children understand preparation and organization and help us make the day easier too. Another important thing to remember for parents is that organization takes practice. It's not going to happen overnight. Executive function skills develop gradually, especially with students that have ADHD or executive function challenges. Our goal is making progress, right? Not perfection. We need to celebrate the small wins, like if our child remembers their homework independently, or they do their backpack check independently, or clean their folders out. That's super important. Helps build confidence. So to wrap up, self-organization is one of the most important skills that students can develop because it impacts school success, confidence, independence, and stress management. Children often do better when they have structure. They may say they don't want it, but structure is super important. Routines and systems that support them. We just touched on the surface today, and our full workshop will dive deeper into practical strategies for building time management for both kids and adults. If you've ever wished for less stress, less arguing, and more confidence, this is in your family, this is for you. The link to register for the workshops will be in the comments attached to this video live post. And for questions regarding individual coaching for students and our parents, please call us at 954-728-0493 or send us an email to todd@skills-4life-coach.com. Thank you so much for those of you who joined today. And if you're watching this on replay, please don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. See you next week.